All right, well, welcome to our Texas Veteran Strong meeting. This is our monthly meeting that we try to connect veterans interested in the creative arts, um, veteran arts organizations, veteran organizations, arts organizations, really all of it, just to see how we can, collaborate on things, connect people, is kind of our goal on this. And so we'll probably just have everybody go around and say who you are. And then we have Gregory Lyons here who's going to tell us about a project he's working on. And yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. So I there are some new people, so glad to see you here. We'll start with Melvin Hall.
Hey, good morning. Is my audio working?
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful to meet y'all. First time here. I live in Pecan Hill up close to Dallas. I'm currently in Waco. I do volunteer down here with the Veteran One Stop Shop and some other side gigs. And well, we wanted to do a Veterans Art Therapy here in the Waco area. And to connect the dots how I got here, it would take too long to talk about that. 23 years in the Marine Corps, and I'll shut up and listen.
Do you know Rachel Mims?
Uh, yes, I worked
Yeah.
at Texas State Technical College, so I met her through that. But didn't she move out of country?
No, she's well. I don't know if she has. It's been recent, but she's used to come to this meeting pretty regularly, and does
Okay.
was doing therapy in that area, creative art
Yeah, and
therapy.
we had talked about that, and
Yeah.
so the last time was um, she was um, selling her house and heading out.
Oh, exciting!
Yeah,
We all got the bug, I guess. And I'm
thank you.
April Sullivan. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. My thing just says Art Spark Texas. Um, let's see, Joe.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Joe Varcasia, calling in from Waco, Texas. Retired Navy veteran here, Navy for 25 years. And after that, I went and did some contracting work in Iraq for 3 years and finally got a job stateside. So I worked at the leading space company for 5 years, and now I'm doing consulting work for leadership and development and talent development, things like that. I'm a small business owner now. Um, this is my first time at this meeting. I really don't know what to expect. So I'm just going to be kind of observant from this point on, but it is good to meet everybody. How are you all today?
Good.
Doing good.
Thank you.
Right. Let's see. How about Jamela?
Yes, good morning. My name is Jamela Davis. I am the outreach manager for the Veteran Spouse Network. I do believe my colleague, Lorianne Rodriguez, may have joined on these meetings before, but I have come on since July. So I just wanted to come in, and like Joseph said, I have never been to any of these meetings, so just going to sit back and observe. If anyone doesn't know about the Veteran Spouse Network, we do offer support to veteran spouses and transitioning military spouses. That support comes through support groups, one-on-one, Empower Ed educational series. And we also have social clubs, podcasts that we offer just to amplify the voices and the needs of veteran spouses. So I'm happy to be here. Happy holidays, and thank you.
Thank you, Janella. I'll let my wife know about that.
Yes, please do. Please do. And I'll put my information in the chat if anyone wants to.
Oh, yes, please do.
All right. Thank
They
you.
have a great newsletter that they send out with all kinds of
Yes.
wonderful information. I get tons of information from there.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. How about Carol? You want to go next, Carol?
Sure. I'm just a full-time artist. Every day since the year 2000. Recently, I took a couple days off, but I usually do art every day. That's let's see. I was in the Air Force for 8 years. I wanted to make it a career, but they had other plans. So they scaled down the forces, so unfortunately. Anyway, that's all. I'm just here representing art, maybe.
Yeah, well, I guess you're allowed to take a few days off, Carol, every once in a while,
Just because I
Okay.
wasn't happy, but yeah.
right? How about Pam?
Hi, everybody. I'm Pam Ferguson. Been working together with ArtSpark for collaborating, I would say, for a few years now. I'm a co-founder of the Artemis Group of Women Veteran Artists. I'm not actually a veteran, but I was treating as a shiatsu therapist a number of veterans, and we decided to pull together this group of women veteran artists, and I'm delighted that Denise is one of us now as well. And every year, apart from sort of individual, we all, a few of us exhibited at the Atavest at ACC just recently, and it closed, and Denise's works were absolutely spectacular, and also Shirley Riley's. And every year around Women's Veterans Day, we have an exhibition at La Peña Gallery on Congress Avenue in Austin, and it's usually wonderfully attended. We have incredible support from La Peña Gallery. So if you're in Austin around Women's Veterans Day next year, please come and join us. But we will, of course, post the invitation on ArtSpark as well. This was our invitation this year, and it was a wonderful event. I think 5 of our artists exhibited, and Denise will be exhibiting with us next year, which I'm delighted to say. Thank you, and it's lovely to see you, April.
All right, how about Betsy? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm sorry I'm late. I was trying to find a way to get on the call. My name is Betsy. I work as a social worker at the Dallas VA, and I do community outreach for suicide prevention. And I make this meeting when I'm not going to other meetings.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of meetings. Okay, Denise.
Hi, I'm Denise Knable, and I contract with ArtSpark Texas for their veteran program. And I've worked with them on and off since they started doing veterans in 2009. And as April said, she'll be needing a replacement, so I can't do it. But I'll still be here. I'll still be participating and stuff, but I can't take the whole veteran program because I have so many other things to do. So pass on the word. So hopefully we get somebody good in there that can take over the big bulk of the work. We love April and we don't want to see her do that, but she's got a big old life to live with her camper and everything. So, and she'll be here when she can, right, April?
Yeah, when I can, I will. Especially the
Okay.
women veterans group, because like Carol said, we've got like a nice small, connected group, and it's nice to see your faces on that. And so for those who don't know, we have a women veteran meeting that we do virtual as well. And it's once a month, same as this one. We've got 2 options. You can either join on second Wednesday. This is second. Is second or third? Second.
Second.
Yeah. Second Wednesday of the month from noon to 1, or second Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. So we'll be doing one this Saturday. And right now what we're doing is going through a book called The Artist's Way. And each month we read it. Well, people read a chapter previously, and then are you familiar with The Artist's Way, Melvin? That's a great book. Yeah, we're really enjoying it. We're on chapter 4 at this point, so people can join it anytime, and they don't have to have read the book. We pretty much just talk anyway. Just the book gives us some jumping off points. But please tell any women veteran in your life about it, and we'd love to have them. It's on the website as well. Okay, so Gregory Lyons is here, doctoral student. I don't know where. You'll have to tell us where and what you're doing, and I think this would be a good group to pick their brains, see if they know anybody who might be interested in being a part of your study that you're working on.
Yeah, great. Thank you for letting me be here. Gregory Lyons. I'm actually a licensed clinical professional counselor in Nevada, but I recently moved to Colorado. Working on my doctorate through Touro Worldwide University. That's where I got my master's degree through and everything else. My dissertation deals with art therapy and veterans who were diagnosed with PTSD. What I'm trying to do with my study is just talk to them, none of the facilitators or clinicians that may have done the process, but just to the veteran to see if they want to answer a quick questionnaire, 45 minutes, a couple of interview questions, talking about if they felt it was good for them or bad for them, basically. And what I'm doing is called a phenomenological study, where basically I take the information I find like parts of the answers, and then I pull my dissertation together and show them what I believe. Now, I'm biased. I have my own diagnosis since I was, 13, and I'm an artist. It's great that I see some art behind some people there. Paint and draw since I was 13 in order to get rid of my own coping mechanisms, mindfulness practices of my anxiety and depression. My wife's a therapist, so I think I'm the reason why she became a therapist because of the little odd quirks I have in my life. But I've been drawing and painting, and when I wanted to become an art therapist, and she goes, "Well, just become a regular therapist, and that way you can reach a wider clientele with this type of process." So that's what I've done. I have been working with art therapy with kids. Love working with that. In groups, as well as individuals that were homeless, substance abuse, and from anywhere from 5 years old to 65 years old. And I've seen some really positive attributes. So homeless people, substance abuse. I think it's a great way that a lot of people nowadays don't ask people what they feel. And this is a great way for them to kind of get it out of it, because they don't have the communication stylings or dynamic that they've ever felt or were able to express within their family or their friends. And it's great to see that output. So when I went to Toro, they're like, "What's your dissertation about?" And I cheated. I'm like, art therapy, right? So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm really looking for veterans who have the experience, have to be over 18 years of age, and maybe over a year since they've been out, because that way it shows that their practices, coping, mindfulness skills have stuck, or it hasn't. And that way I can get an idea of, hey, this is how we feel about it. This is the positive or negatives about it, and so forth. I only need 5. I'm supposed to have 15, but my minimum is 5. So I'm like, please, just 5. It's been kind of hard. Again, with the market, I'm sorry, with the clientele, a lot of veterans don't want to talk about PTSD, right? They don't want to expose themselves to their feelings of the fact that they were in a situation where they couldn't handle it. So instead of treatment, I call it rehabilitation of art therapy with PTSD. And I think that kind of helps them. It gives them more about, what they've gone through and everything else. But that's about it. If you guys have any questions, go for it.
So for this,
So are you looking,
yeah,
are,
go ahead. Denise.
are you looking for people who have PTSD from battle or anything specific, or just anybody who is a
Yes.
veteran?
So that is funny, because that was the specifics. A lot of the studies that happened before me, they may get 53 people or veterans, and it only comes down to 5 or 15 because they concentrate on a specific branch of service, a specific type of PTSD. Mine is more simple, and because I'm a therapist, I kind of understand this. Yes, there are different types of PTSD, be it within battle, traumatic event of emotional, physical, verbal, sexual. But when you get right down to it with the DSM-5, PTSD is PTSD, right? There's specific criteria that have to be met. They don't ask about, oh, was this violence driven or sexually driven? So I kind of pulled back to that. It's just PTSD. And I know there's so many different branches of the military. I unfortunately have never been in the military, but both my son-in-law, my one son-in-law was a Marine, the other was in the Army. They went to Afghanistan, Iran, and all that other stuff. My father was in the Navy. On his side of the family, he had 3 brothers that were in the Navy. And then on my mom's side, her brother was a Marine. So my life has been totally saturated. Plus, growing up, I've seen how these affect people with PTSD, because a couple of them were in Vietnam and everything else, affected them as individuals. So that basically, a long story, is anybody who's had military experience with PTSD, because it's generic enough to see if, even if it was when they come home, or so basically anybody.
Do they need to have like an official diagnosis to be a part of it, or is it just something that I might have PTSD or something?
I would say no, not according to my dissertation, no, they do not need. There's something called an IRB contract that I have to kind of fill out and give to the clients or to the participants before I see them. And it doesn't have anything like that within it. And again, what will happen with this is you guys contact me, hey, we may have some people, and I will send out a contact saying, okay, here's my information. I can send you a brochure that kind of breaks down the study a little more. The person contacts me, I give them the release of information and the HIPAA, all that other good stuff, and they sign it and they bring back to me, and then we set up a phone call. That's the whole process. I'm not going to use their name, who they are, sex, anything else like that. They're going to be participant 1 or participant 2. Again, I'm not going into male or female because that just expands the study, just blows it all the way up. Cultural differences, all that other stuff. It's just basically a person like you and I talking to me saying, yeah, I like art therapy and it's done this for me. And those elements may have an influence on it, but it's not, I don't think that's a controlling factor per se. You guys agree with that?
Say that sentence again.
I think those elements like age, sex, cultural dynamics that they grew up in, I think those are participation factors of who they are or how they feel the effects of PTSD and how art therapy has helped them. But I can't look into all those because then it becomes like a 10, 15-year study. It just blows it all up.
Right, yeah. I was going to ask also, so they have to have participated in creative art therapy at some point to be a part of it. And does that need to be specifically led by therapists? I mean, like what we do at ArtSpark, we're a community arts organization. We are not a therapy organization, but what we do is art, and it happens to be therapeutic. You know, so if somebody participated in something we do, would that count? Or does it need to be actually working with a creative arts therapist?
No, I think it's the discipline of art therapy. In Nevada, you do not have to have a certification or a license to present with creative art. You can just do it. I do it as a therapist. Recently, I moved to Colorado. Now, you have to have a degree as an art therapist or certification in order to do it. I've known people who've done art therapy or not even clinicians. It sounds like that's what ArtSpark Texas does. They just have someone show up and they're very, and this is a huge thing, they're very creative or they're adaptive enough to present this type of following in order to deal with PTSD. And I think that's just as important, right? So yeah, the long story short, it can be anybody who's experienced art therapy for PTSD. Yeah, and I will put my stuff here in the contact page or in the chat. But I'm really excited about it. I've had some good returns. I think it's really interesting just to talk to people about it. I'm an artist. I love talking about art. So you got be an artist. I'm like, oh, great. I never get the chance to talk to anybody about art. And I do paint. I try to paint every day. To me, it's a stress reliever being in school and everything. Love watercolors and I love acrylics. And I've actually sculpted, carved wood, and made jewelry. So yeah, I'm very creative based. And I always tell people that's my greatest. That's what I use. If I ever in a situation, I love to be creative because I can pull out anything, you know. So
Then,
any help would be appreciative. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I forgot what I was going to ask. I'll think of it and get back.
Okay.
What was I going to say? I remembered. I was going to say, oh, is the participants, is this a volunteer thing or is there any compensation to them?
Right now it's volunteer. I have a lot of organizations I'm working with that have released the brochure, but I haven't got anything back. I may be able, it's early enough that I could do where right now it's just voluntary, but I might be able to offer a stipend. It matters. Right now, I'm just very desperate to get any participants.
What is your
So-
deadline on this to get your participants?
March, April of next year.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm halfway through it. I'm at the point where I presented all the data, all the literature review and everything else. And now it's just doing the test and producing information. I think I'll go pretty quick with that.
Yeah, and I don't know, in terms of like your research on it, I don't know if you've ever looked at the Creative Forces website with the National Endowment for the Arts and the Americans for the Arts have come together and created they have a website that has all kinds of information on creative art therapies and the value of it. And they've got some really great articles on their a whole like library section. We get some of our funding through them, through the Creative Forces.
I think I've touched base, and that's where I got a lot of resources to kind of reach out to people.
Okay, good. Yeah, yeah, they're a great resource.
It's funny, not to talk too much smack. I reached out to the Disabled Veterans Association or the VA, and they're like, "Oh no, we don't work with anybody outside of the Veterans Administration area." And I have both son-in-laws who, PTSD. They're 100% disability, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay. So you don't want to help anybody like this. You just want to do your own thing, And I had clients who they're up for disability, and they can't get in for 3 or 4 years, or months, 5 months, and they're having really psychotic events through depression or PTSD, and they can't go in and get any psychotropic meds for 3 months. It's just crazy, right? That was in Vegas. Vegas is really bad when it came to healthcare, though.
Yeah, and I'm sure being the VA, that's just being HIPAA, in a health organization, they just can't release information on their clients
Yep.
like that. Yeah.
I get it.
One
Did
thing
anybody
I
else
just,
have a question? Yeah.
since I'm with the VA, and I'll
Uh-oh.
say, if you, and I don't defend the VA at every turn. I think it's they do some things right, other things they definitely don't. And patients present their own quirks. But if someone can't be seen at a VA for a number of months, there might be the opportunity to have community care, which the VA pays for. So if this person really does need to get seen and medicated, that's something they could follow up on. And so they wouldn't be seeing a VA provider, but the VA has expanded services in order to have people out, sort of private citizens providing care. If that could be something.
Yeah, and that's part of my study is we literally have been at war for what, 20 years now, 30 years in different areas and different places. And I think that's part of the emphasis on using art therapy, because right now they use CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, or trauma forced CBT. And a lot of these approaches to individuals who don't want to talk about it, or, are kind of isolated within their own heads, it's almost forced. And they actually have to identify why they have these symptoms or identify the symptoms. A lot of people can't do that,
Right. Yes, I agree. I'm not aware that the VA has an ongoing art therapy kind of course. If they do, there might have been like some extra funding earmarked. They use what they know to be, they are huge on CBT or CPT, cognitive processing therapy for things. Anything that can have big, lots of, stacks of research behind. And it works for some. If you're sort of very practically minded like that, you can put together the puzzle pieces. But for others, it's not. It's a nonverbal therapy, art therapy.
One thing interesting I'd love to share, because being an artist, this never came to me. I can't really quote the actual article, but one of the authors or the clinicians I study, they were very specific on the type of media you use in this approach. Because if you use painting, some people are so intimidated by it. They're like, no, I can't paint. But if you use like pencils, crayons, or stuff like that, markers, it's more acceptable to them. So if you kind of bring out the paints, people are like, oh no, I can't do this because of the whole stigma aligned with it. But if you bring out a couple colored pencils, crayons, and they're like, oh. So I learned that myself. I'm like, that's an excellent point. If I start ever doing group again, well, I've always used pencils and stuff because of the mess of watercolors and everything else. But I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I've heard that too. To start with the more the dry media or the black and white, and ease into color and the media that really flows.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. I put my information in. Hopefully I'll be able to get a contact with you. And it's funny because I'm 58 years old. I grew up in Southern California when I was really young. So I've experienced a lot of horrible things and, pretty good things. But I was growing up in the 80s. I graduated in 84 and people were doing all these crazy stuff. And I used to go down to the beach and just cruise galleries. And people always thought I was weird. And with, I would express my specific opinions about current abstract artists and stuff like that. And people are like, what are you talking about? Because I was this young kid go, let's talk about Andy Warhol. So I've always, and I say that because I can talk art anytime because I really do love it. I think it's fun. And I see some of the paintings from the 1800s to the 1900s. I'm like, wow, what happened? So that's my own biases.
Well, I hope we help you find some participants, and I'll put it in our next newsletter. So if you send me the brochure, I don't think you sent me that yet, and we can put it in our next newsletter for sure.
Oh, sounds good. Yeah, you sent me the link and everything, so I can just send it there.
Yeah, and
Right,
I don't
great.
see your stuff in the chat. Did you put your contact in the chat? Might have to
Yeah, I
hit
believe
send.
so.
Yeah,
Um,
it's there.
It?
It's there.
Oh, okay. I don't see it. Okay.
I don't see it either.
Yeah, it's
Well-
okay. I have it. It came to me. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, can you
gotta-
send it generally?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to put it to everyone. That's why I see it and nobody else
Mm.
does. Yeah, because I volunteered right away.
Oh,
I
that's very
have a
nice
lot
of you,
of
Carol.
frustration with the VA because the only kind of art therapy that they're doing there right now is coloring books, which I suppose is fine, but I mean, I tried to volunteer to be part of a veterans group meeting, and I said, can you provide the space? And they said, well, only if there's a practitioner. I said, okay, so have a practitioner there. Well, we can't have a practitioner there unless we have a program. They can only do a specific program, meeting 8 times or whatever. And it's pretty frustrating because I do art all the time and I feel a need for connection for myself and for other veterans to communicate. And art is just a great medium to relax people where they can just sort of begin to talk. And before you know it, you're in a great discussion. Whereas if you're in a circle staring at each other, people are a little reticent to,
True.
bring up anything. But it's surprising how well it works, but the VA won't, they won't work with me. So
The red tape is infamous for just about anything. I can say. I know that's a terrible blanket statement, but there's too much of it, and
it's government. Yeah.
you'd have a lot more leeway. I mean, thank goodness for church basements, because they host so many different groups throughout the course of a week when they're not being used for, why they're there, like, other like church services. You might find a more welcoming audience and absolutely no red tape if you need a meeting space.
True.
I always tell people as a therapist, working with kids or any people who are not responsive, they draw something. And even if you ask a question like, oh, you use red there. Why did you use red? And they'll tell you. And then that just sparks the communication, start of their talking to you, building trust. And, like I could be totally wrong. Like, oh, that's a flower. Or does that remind you of your mother? And they're like, oh, no, this and that and this. And then, it just segues into the whole conversation. And it's so funny. You try to explain that to people who aren't artists. And they just kind of, no, I don't get it. So, yep, I love the medium. I think it's really great.
Me too.
I have to say goodbye for right now, and then I'll join you next month because I have to drive to another meeting. But thank you so much, and everyone have a safe, healthy start to 2025.
You too,
Thank you.
Betsy.
Great
Yeah,
to
good
meet
to
you.
see you.
Good to
Betsy.
see you.
Good to see you too.
I just put a flyer in the chat for our next upcoming virtual workshop. It's a writing class. It's called Writing in Harmony, the collective voice in fiction. So Clayton is one of our teaching artist. He's a veteran and just done amazing things with his writing. And he's teaching writing now at university level. And so this is a 1-day, 2-hour course. It's free online, and it's going to be talking about how to developing characters, and there's a description there if you download the flyer or print it out or look at it. But it's about how to develop characters within a whole, like as a group, say as a group of veterans in the story, and then also how to draw out one character within that group. So I'm not a writer, but for those who are writers, it could be very interesting.
I'll post my brochure here too. I forgot I could do that.
Oh yeah, you might be able to. I sometimes find if I'm not the host, I have trouble finding where to share files.
Okay.
If you can't, you can always send it to me. Oh yeah,
Cool.
there you go. You shared it. I can open it there. Does anybody else have anything else they want to bring up, talk about?
I was going to say Carol and I are going to have an opportunity for veteran artists to display their work early next year. And we will have more information on that at the next meeting on how we're
Oh.
going to get that all accomplished.
And
And
of course, anybody who helps me out, I'm going to put your name and acknowledgement in the dissertation front of my page. So it's not like, you guys will get some information about that.
Denise, where will the exhibit be? Will it be in the Austin area?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. Okay. At the VA or at an independent place?
Go ahead, Carol.
It's
Oh.
independent. It's
Ah.
at what is Art Mend, and it's a place.
Project Mend.
Yeah, Project Mend. There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they refurbish any kind of medical equipment that's needed for people, and it's pretty cool. I mean, the director Dexter, real busy guy, but he's real receptive, and so we're gonna try and see if we can come up with some art to represent what they do using their materials.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And what sort of date?
They provide it all for free.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You say
Mhm.
early 2025, Carol?
Yeah, we don't have a date yet. We're still working on the all the details, but
Okay,
it's good to know that an opportunity is on its way.
fabulous. Thank you. But you'll post it on the Art Sparks
Oh,
website?
absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. April, did you have any update you wanted to share on the annual women's meeting next year?
No, we still need to pick a date for that, and I
Mhm.
forwarded Jerry all my contacts of who we were talking
Okay.
about. There's actually a new songwriter group that's doing a
You're frozen, April.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Am I there? Am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
I'm back. Okay. Yeah. So there's a songwriter group that just was introduced to us. Actually, Rachel Mims sent them to us. And they've got a Texas Women's Songwriting Festival coming up at the end of the year next year. So we're going to see if we can work with them to do something with the women veterans early on, maybe get them interested in that
cool.
festival at the end of the year. And then the Cav Arts group, where we got the books. Is that University of Indiana?
Yes.
Yeah, University of Indiana. So they have a group called Cav Arts, and they have put together this really great workbook. You might check into it, Gregory. It's a book on for veterans, a workbook of art, and they send out art supplies and the book, and to any veteran who requests a copy.
Oh.
And so we've got one of their teaching artists coming, who will teach one of the lessons out of that book, and everybody gets a copy of it. So those are the two kind of things. Oh, you have a copy right there. Yeah. Those are the two kind of things we have lined up for the women veterans virtual thing, but we don't have it secured yet. I think Celia's waiting until she hires somebody to manage it.
What is that again? The place that does that? Sends out the-
University of Indiana.
Oh, wow, I'm from Indiana. Okay.
Yeah.
And is it the University of Indiana Press that published the book?
Oh, I don't have that on here. But I think yes, but I'm not positive.
Do you have like contact information for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get it for you.
Yeah, and
Okay.
we actually learned about it from somebody who came to our group and told us about it. Maria
Yes.
from
Yeah, that was
Amarillo.
years
She
ago.
said, she was like, I ordered these books. You guys should order them. And I think we inundated them with orders at that moment.
Okay.
And
Hang on.
Maria,
I'll put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat.
yeah,
Thank
put it in the
you.
chat. Maria Hernandez, who usually comes to this meeting, she's in Amarillo and she is organizing different veteran art projects there. And we helped her with one that we have to reschedule because it was supposed to be in October at Palo Duro Canyon and they had a kind of big rain and hail event. So we had to reschedule it. So that will be rescheduled for a watercolor painting at Palo Duro Canyon sometime in the spring. But that's what we have coming up for now.
Oh, that sounds
Once
great.
there's somebody to organize it, we'll get Jerry on it.
Okay. Thanks, Denise.
You're welcome. So I put the book over there, but I can't get to that right this second. This is just the supply bag.
Oh, the Stars for Our Arts. Okay. Stars for Our Troops.
Troops.org.
Can I chip in here if we
Yes,
have time?
please. Of course.
Yeah. No, the reason why I ask about the publisher is that I'm co-editing an anthology on PTSD, and the core of it is military and veteran artists, of which, of course, Denise is one of them. And it's out with 2 publishers at the moment, but we're sort of casting our net to find others. So the University of Indiana might be somebody else that I might approach if they were the publishers of the book that you're just talking about.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I'm looking at the book. So
Thank you, Denise.
I think it was a project.
yeah, it says contact Indiana University. It says for permission requests, blah, blah, contact the Indiana University Center for Rural Engagement. And it says copyright by the trustees of the Indiana University.
Okay.
Okay.
And what's the title of the book, Denise?
It is.
See,
Creative Arts for Vets.
Vets.
Oh. Great. Is there an editor involved, or is it just
I think it
Can
was
you
a
look and see?
project of
Yeah,
a
I don't think
specific
so.
department there, created the
Yes.
rural engagement department.
The rural
It was
engagement,
kind
yeah.
of like
Rural
an
engagement.
internal thing, yeah.
fine? Thank you very much.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing your book when it comes out, Pam. It's been in the works for a while.
It's been in the works for a couple of years. We've interviewed over 50 participants, the core of which are military and veterans, but a huge range of people that have found different ways of coping with PTSI, as we call it, the sort of modern terminology. And the trouble is, where do you end a project like this? Every time
Right.
we said we're wrapping it up, and oh my goodness, and I've got to interview so-and-so. But we've done it all in a Q&A style, so it's going to be very readable. And Denise's wonderful artwork is in it as well,
Oh, cool.
as well as the artwork of a range of people. So it's fun, yeah.
But folks who are new, please pass the word on, because we would love to see more new people here. The whole goal of this is to get all kinds of folks who are interested in art used for healing. And so businesses, it doesn't matter if they want to help veterans, and that might be done somehow, some way, even by the smallest connection through art, then we're interested. Maybe they can come and listen and think, oh, I never thought of that before, and we can help in this way. And so, yeah, this is for artists and businesses who want to work with veterans and You know, I'm a veteran, obviously, a retiree, Air Force retiree, and I'm also an artist, as you can see. So, you know, we want as many people as possible here because we're trying to create a network of opportunities, and the artists come too because they want to hear about what the new treatments are or the new connections they can make or display their art. And so many of them have a hard time finding places and venues to display their art. And, you know, we want to just have that big community where we can share and make people more aware and help.
I always tell people I'm working with art therapy, I'm like, there's one rule to art. There is no rules. You know, because you always get people, I can only draw stick figures. Oh, that's fine. You know, that's great. So yeah, I think it's great that one of my beliefs too, with the kind of everything going on with the computer and stuff, people get keyhole with their art. They don't want to release it because they see this beautiful art and they like, I don't want to share myself and we're not that good. And I'm glad you guys are like, no, go for it.
No, doesn't matter at all. I also work for the Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio for their soldier recovery unit. And we just had a display of their artwork at the Carver the Carver Library in Boston, and it was all masks. And I'm sure all of you have heard before that masks are another good entry point for getting people to be creative and really let some of their stuff out that they have not before. So it was a really good exhibit.
Yeah, send me those pictures. I want to see pictures of it.
Yeah, me too.
Will. I will. That was a hard location though for having the masks because by the doors and it was moving.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, the wind was yeah, it was like it was different than before. So anyway, we got to
Well, they
take that
just
into
need to-
account next year.
Well, Doreen just needs to give us her actual gallery space and make a Creative Arts Society give it up for a month.
Yes, I agree.
I think Jamel is the artist with that beautiful background. I don't even know how to do that.
Close.
I don't
I
know how to
would-
do that either.
It's our graphics team.
Oh, there you go. Gotta
Yes,
have the graphics team.
gotta have one.
It's funny, 30 years before all this, I was a graphic designer. That's what I got my bachelor's in. 30 years.
Nice.
It's funny, I don't even carry my phone with me anymore. I'm with my wife and she's like, where's your phone? I'm like, I'm with you. You're the only person I want to talk to. And I wanted to mention, she's bugging me. She goes, you know, we can do this telehealth. Let's get a mobile home. So for you to hear, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to tell my wife about that because now she'll be like, look,
Yeah,
can
you
do
can
it. Why
do
can't
it.
we?
You can do it.
I tell her we have too much stuff though.
Yeah, you got to be minimalist a little bit.
You got to
We're
give
looking
up
for
the stuff.
Yeah.
But then the few things we do have, we can't find. Like we were looking for a wrench this morning. Like, where's it at? Do we really own one? Maybe we threw it away.
April, I was literally sitting at my desk this morning with a letter that I needed and looked at. And when I went back to take a picture of it with my phone, I can't find it. And I never moved from my desk. So
Oh, it's so frustrating.
anyway,
Did
that's
you ever
all I
find
have
it?
this week. No, I had the meeting. Now I got to go back in there.
And now that you've taken away from it, yeah, you'll come back to it. Yeah.
I hope.
Sometimes it helps to be distracted. Yeah.
I guess that's all we have for this
I
week.
think so, unless anybody else has anything. Melvin, anything? You're muted, but
Yeah, I really love being here and meeting all of y'all. So thank you for including me.
Yes, nice to meet you.
yes, nice to meet you.
Yeah, and thank you for letting me
Gregory.
come in and meet you guys too. I mean, this is something, so you have it once a month?
We have it once a month, 10:30 to 11:30, second Thursday of the month.
Yeah, I'll come again if I'm welcome. Second Thursday
Yeah,
of the
of
month.
course you are. Yeah, you're welcome.
I guess
You
as
and anybody you want to invite.
Yeah.
I guess as always, if there's anybody out there that knows how to do business with art or have a connection, someone who wants to practice doing a business, I've gone to schools and you know, tried to check that out and I had someone from business school at UT said, okay, I want you to write up your financial projections for the next 5 years and then we'll do a business plan with you. And I'm like, what? I don't know business, you know? But I have a house full of art and I have need of money for retirement. And somehow I don't know how to get the two together. So I just keep making more art every day. It's what I got to do, you know? One of
Get out
these
there,
days,
Carol. Yeah,
my call will be answered.
your call will be answered.
And since I moved to Colorado, I can't do art therapy without the certification, but people are like, you can do workshops because it's not therapy.
Right, that's true. You could, yeah.
So I'm going to probably get into that side of it as well. I'm kind of excited about. Right now I'm concentrating on art therapy, you know, but we can do creative arts therapy with, like you said, writing, drama, singing. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool too. And I want to say, Carol, being having a degree in marketing and stuff, just be careful, because if you really get into releasing your artwork, trying to get involved with galleries and stuff, and Denise maybe tell you this, you become more of a marketer than an artist, and then you can never paint because you're trying to push your stuff so often.
Yeah,
So
that's why I want to couple with someone who's as passionate about business. I know there's people out there that are go-getters when it comes to that and love doing that. I think it's kind of like a game for them. I just need to find that right person because I have like 20,000 pieces that are waiting, you know.
goodness,
Yeah, a
you could
lot.
always throw it on like Etsy. Have you ever done that?
I've done Etsy and it was more of a pain than what I
Mm.
sold 2 pieces in 2 years. It was years ago, but I mean one of the things I sold was like $5. You know, it's just not worth the time and the effort. So if that's why I say if I can do what I do best and that is produce and find someone that is, you know, able to work with me. And there's a lot of artists I think in that situation. I don't know how they ever find somebody, but
Mm.
I don't want it to end up in a dumpster after I die because I've done a lot of serious work. And yeah, that's my goal at this point. And to make a little bit of money from it, you know? Thank you.
Carol, your contact details, please.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
Gosh. Let's see. Should I put it to everyone, right?
Yeah, sure.
The heck of it. Oh, I shouldn't have returned. Okay.
Yeah, I do that every time. I accidentally hit return and it sends it.
Sorry, I'm goofing because I'm under pressure.
Well, I think Jerry was supposed to be here today, but I think he forgot because he got busy with that. They're having a donor party at the office, so
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
yeah. So
Yeah, because he
next
said he
time-
was going to be here.
yeah, he did, but I think he forgot.
Okay, I'll remind him next time. So, okay. You all have a wonderful holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay
Great seeing
healthy.
everybody.
Stay safe.
Happy holidays.
I
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.